Because with the Senate on board, attention now falls on the House of Representatives. We turn now to two members of that body. For what happened yesterday, we welcome in Democratic Illinois Representative Luis Gutierrez and Republican New Jersey Congressman Scott Garrett, who both sit on the House Financial Services Committee. Congressman Garrett, let me start with you. Clear up the misconception, if there is one, about the fact that the House Republicans are stalling this bill.
Well, the Republicans in the House, of course, cannot stall anything. We are the minority party. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats are in control of the House. If they and Barney are on support of the Paulson president's plan, they could have brought the bill up yesterday for a vote. They could have put up the 218 votes. They have a majority. They have enough votes. They could have done it. We could have been out of town right now. So it sounds like they support that type of bailout, a $700 billion use of taxpayers' dollars to bail out the plan. I'm a little confused why they insist then that they have to have 1, 2, or 100 Republican votes. We have an alternative idea. We've been saying since, well, this past weekend, let's have an open debate on it. Let's have a full hearing on it. Let's have a markup in committee on it. They refused all that, so they're in charge. If they want to move it, I would suggest they take the step and have the vote this morning and put up the 218 votes and move ahead if that's what they want to do.
Congressman Gutierrez, let me have you respond to that. Would you do that?
Well, I don't want to act in a highly irresponsible and partisan political way. I don't think the American public gains much by members of Congress coming on programs such as this to attack the other party and to put the onus. Listen, the American people and our economy is in dire straits. It's time to set aside political posturing and to make sure that we can all come together. When this Republican proposal, George Bush proposal, came before the Congress of the United States, Democrats didn't walk away. We said, we'll sit down, we'll work until late hours and try to work it out. We have the kind of oversight that many now are applauding to make sure that it's not simply a blank check. It's not going to be $700 billion immediately. It'll be $250 billion, and then we'll see how it works forward.
Right.
We have made sure that executive compensation has been reined in. We made sure that people who are losing their homes are going to get some help. There are a lot of good things, good modifications. I think it's time to sit back at the table and not walk away. There's still dire straits. Washington Mutual crashed yesterday.
All right.
It failed.
Congressman Garrett, let me get your response to that, because I think Congressman Gutierrez brings up a great point here, and that is it the responsibility, because the Democrats have the majority in Congress, to be the ones who stand up and sign this bill into law when many of the sticking points that you want put into it were mutually agreed upon in the Senate? I mean, there's been, I would assume, a fair amount of conceding on each side.
Well, the points that were added to it, such as executive compensation and some sort of a give back, or if you will, sort of protection of the taxpayer dollars going forward, and those things are really peripheral issues to the underlying issue of, will we spend $700 billion of taxpayer dollars, whether we spend it on the first day or the 10th or a couple months down the road? Those are really besides the point to a number of us Republicans. We would like to see, can't we have a discussion on alternatives? And we threw out some of them, but it was a only one hearing, not a markup, as you know the term, in committee hearing the other day, on Wednesday, when both Secretary Paulson and Chairman Bernanke was there. We have alternative ideas that we think we could do it without using taxpayer dollars. But again, I'll go back. It's not a partisan issue, really.
But Congressman, do you have time for alternative ideas? The largest savings and loan, the largest bank failure occurred this morning.
Well, we do have time, we do believe. We said that back to the President when he first proposed the idea. We said that actually to Chairman Franks. We said, let's come back to Congress immediately, have some hearings on it. Unfortunately, we didn't have those until late on Wednesday in the House. Here it is Friday. We could have been in committee yesterday doing this. We were doing some other stuff. We had GSE reform dealing with that issue. We could have been here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, having hearings, discussing these ideas, going through some of the other proposals. I have to tell you, there are a number of other ideas that have been floated out there, and just for whatever reason, the chairman has just not had a hearing.
Congressman Gutierrez, go ahead.
If I could, look. You've reported this. The country has reported this process for the last week. Intense negotiations between both Republican leadership, Democratic leadership, and the White House. And things were going along pretty well. until we decided to have this great summit yesterday. And at that summit yesterday, John McCain, while physically present at the meeting, was intellectually absent from it. He did not speak. This was the time that he had asked for to bring everybody together in order to put a plan together. It didn't happen. Having said that, look, you cannot throw at the last second ideas. Where were all these ideas last week, 6 days ago, 5 days ago, 4 days ago? At the very last second, when there's finally beginning to have some consensus, then all of a sudden we have new ideas. And what is a new idea? The new idea is, tell you what, let's stop paying dividends and let's stop paying capital gains. So what we are suggesting is that corporations stop sharing in the wealth and stop paying taxes. That is not a responsible way to respond to what we have right now, because even if they amass new wealth, the confidence in the market is not there for people to rally this market once. It's our economy. Let's leave politics aside and partisanship aside. I'm ready to sit down at the table. We don't need a markup. We need to sit down around a table and talk to one another.
All right, guys, I hate to do it, but I have to leave it there. A great dialogue and discussion. I look forward to hopefully seeing some resolution pretty quickly. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us.
Look forward to it. Thank you.
All right, after the break, the largest savings and loan bank, Washington Mutual, closed last night, but will be open today. We'll give you all the details coming up in just a moment.
Washington to the rescue.
We've reached a fundamental agreement on a set of principles.
But will the bipartisan bailout prevent further financial crisis? And what does the government's plan really mean for your money? Tonight, it's a